Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be making a season 1 tier list video. There weren't too many nerfs and buffs in this season 1 patch, but I definitely want to make an updated video for people out there who maybe not seen other tier videos, who are new to the game and just came in season 1. So I definitely want to make a tier list for you guys. So we're going to jump right into it. So first character we have is June. So June did get a buff with this Death Embrace. The range has been increased. I still don't know how I feel about that because June is an extremely strong character ever since release, and especially in like more competitive lobbies like your legend lobbies and diamond lobbies or whatever, he is very prevalent and you see him a lot in there. And I think overall his kit is just really strong, very high combo character. So this is a big buff for him. I had him previously on like around like A tier ish, and I think he might stay there, but he can be borderline S tier at this point, especially a really good June. So definitely A tier for him is where I'm gonna stay at. Ara is a very interesting character. I thought she was kind of trash at first until I really looked at her kit, and then when I broke it down a little bit, she's pretty solid. She's really not that bad. She has one of the lowest cooldowns of one of her abilities. I think it's her second ability. If you're on PlayStation, it's the triangle, I believe. Super consistent. She has really good range. Even her basic attack has range. It's not as good as Momo's basic attack, but it's fairly good. So she's a really solid pick. I think I'm gonna put her at B tier. Very solid choice. So we have Murdock coming up next, and Murdock did get a buff. His exploding rage, it's a passive. Enemy skill resist reduction has been changed from front rate reduction to fixed rate reduction. Sorry about that. So that's a pretty decent buff. I don't see a lot of nerfs. He's not my favorite character, but I think he's okay. I think if you pick this character, you can win a few games. You can do pretty good. Is he S tier, A tier character? By no means at all. But I think he's a pretty solid character. But for me, I'm going to put him at C tier for this list specifically. So coming next is the Panda himself. A lot of people put this guy at the bottom of their tier list, and I can see why. You know, it might be just because his moves aren't that great, or aesthetically he's not that pleasing to look at. I have no idea. But one of his moves, I think it's his first move for square, it's like, it's a super armor move, and it also like stuns your opponent when on contact. I think that's a very underrated ability. And it's like he like charges at you in a way, and it's pretty fast. He comes at you pretty fast. Not extremely fast, but pretty fast. So I like that ability, but for me, I'm still probably gonna put him around like C tier-ish. Definitely not D tier or F tier where people normally put him at. I'll put him at C tier. I think he's an okay character to use. Okay character. So coming up next, we have my boy Momo. Listen, I think this character is borderline broken, right? I think his kit is so unique, and he has a very high skill gap that a really good Momo could fuck you up with like very little effort, especially if they're level 10. They have their entire kit. Yeah, just the level of outplayability, the level of just things you can do with Momo you just can't do with other characters, and that's why I have to put him at A tier on this list. So next coming up, we have Mimi. And Mimi also got a buff. Her Inferno skill, the pulling in, activates faster, which is huge because I thought that ability was kind of lackluster previously to this buff. But overall, Mimi is a solid character. She has very strong combos. And I see quite a few Mimis in like higher lobbies, because I'm in Legend currently, and I see quite a few Mimis. Not as much as June's and a couple of other characters I'm going to bring up here, but very good amount of Mimis. And I think she's solid, so I'm going to put her at B tier on this list. My boy Aidan. I believe Aidan got a buff as well this patch. His basic attack and other skills can be used after landing Iron Will, which is huge for him. I think Aiden's more on like the supporty side when it comes to these characters, alongside of Sam Jang and things like that. And with this buff, I think he's a little bit more better at being a support character. And he can fight on his own too, so that's why I think Aidan is pretty good. Definitely not C tier. Anything below that would just be disrespectful. And I do see quite a few Aidans when I play trios. So I'm definitely going to put him at B tier. Very solid character. So next we have the monkey. He did not get a buff or a nerf. I don't think he needed it. This character is just a beast, bro. Like, this character, his super armor abilities, just the amount of damage he does, because a lot of his combos are 3-hit combos, and since he has less hits, he has more damage in his hits, right? So if you're not careful, bro, he can just beat you down to a pulp. And in a 1v1 scenario, he's just really hard to deal with. You're gonna want to try to focus him down. If you're in solos, you're gonna want to make sure he doesn't have no escape. And then he even has like a built-in escape in his passive. Like, this guy is just a monster, bro. You do not want to 1v1 this guy. So for me, I'm gonna have to put him at A tier. He's definitely A tier character on this list. So coming in next, we have Dara. Okay, so Dara is, her skill gap is ridiculous. Like, she's probably one of the most hardest or the hardest character to use in this game. Her X ability allows her to switch to 3 different elements, and they all give you different abilities and have different functions. And mid-fight, trying to decipher which one to go with, and for a day 1 player, or for people who's extremely new to this game, like, she's not going to be the pick for you. Down the line, when you get better at the game, you can try to dabble in her a little bit and try to figure out her combos and figure out, what makes her work. She's definitely a great character though. She's super strong. She has combos as a long range. Her range on her basic attack and all her abilities are extremely good. She can stun, she can freeze. Like, she really has it all, if I'm being 100% honest here. So I'm definitely gonna put her, I want to put her S tier because I know she can be, but I want to be conservative at the same time. You know what? No, I'm gonna put her S tier because I think a really good Dara can almost solo carry. And that's just my opinion. I think she's really solid. So next, the Drunken Master himself, which got no buffs or nerfs this patch. It's funny because when I first started this game, I thought he was super OP, because it's hard to like know what he's doing. He's so unpredictable in his like moves when you're first starting. You're like, wait, what is this guy doing? But I think he's a overall really solid character. I think he's a fun character just because of his aesthetic and like his personality, things like that. But overall, I don't think, at the grand scheme of things, I don't think he's like top tier or anything like that. I think he's more in the middle of the tier list. So I'm definitely gonna go with B tier. I think that's a safe bet for this guy. He's definitely not bad. His combos are okay. His abilities are decent. His flamethrower is pretty strong. But I feel like you can get stuck in the animation, or if you miss it, it's kind of a detriment to you. So definitely B tier for that character. So Sam Jang, Afro Senju himself, coming in next. Sam did not get any buffs, any nerfs. I don't think he needed anything. I think he's pretty balanced right now. Best supporting game. 100% best supporting game. If you're playing trios, he's a very good pick. I don't know if he's mandatory because it depends on what type of comp you're trying to run. If you're trying to run a super aggressive comp, or whatever you're going with that doesn't need a character like this, then by all means. But with him on your team though, if you're playing with randoms and trios, I would not recommend this character. But if you're playing with a pre-made team and you guys know how each other plays and you have like strats and things like that, dude, this character can win you games, can win you fights. It brings a level of stability to the team because he can heal your team. so you don't have to use that many resources. Like he's actually ridiculous. I have to put him S tier on this list just for that one reason. He just brings too much to the team. So next we're coming with Wilcon, Mr. Combo himself, which got no buffs or nerfs this patch. Solid character. Solid, like in a 1v1 scenario, you do not want to fight this guy, especially not a good one. He's probably gonna out DPS you. He's probably gonna out combo you. The range on his swords are pretty okay. You know, nothing too crazy. Yeah, he's just overall just very, very strong, very solid. In a group setting, probably not the best character to use. It depends. But for me, I'm definitely gonna have to put him A tier. Simply off his combo potential. He can go into his, you know, his soul form, I guess, and get ranged abilities. Like, I don't really know how to use that ability that great. I'm not a Wilcon main by any means, but I definitely see the potential there, so I'm putting him at A tier for sure. Next, we have Momo, and oh dear God, Momo, what have they done to you? Jesus Christ. This character went from not even arguably, objectively, the best character in the game, hands down. The most complained about character, one of the most used characters preseason. And yeah, she got mutilated, bro. The first patch hit her with like 4 different nerfs. And in the season 1 patch, they said, no, Momo, we're not done with you. Bring that ass here, boy. And hit her with one more nerf, which was her basic attacks. Her basic attacks knockback distance has been decreased. Momo, I feel bad for you, bro. I don't like fighting you, so at the end of the day, I'm not that mad. But I feel for you, Momo. Momo mains, I'm sorry. If you're still holding it down, you're still holding the fort, bro. Hey, bro, kudos to you, bro. I respect you, bro. But whoo, shit, man. She's not looking too good right now. Now, does that mean that she's D tier, F tier? No fucking way. She's just not the best anymore. She's definitely not S tier anymore. That's a fact. I'm thinking, I'm hovering towards B tier, A tier. I don't know if I want to bring her all the way down to B. I don't know if she's good enough to be an A. Kind of stuck on that right now. But if I'm being fair, I think that Momo is still an A tier character. Still. That's the main reason why she got nerfed like that, because she's just so good. Like, her kit is just so good. Like, she's getting most of this is like almost number. It's like stat nerfs. It's not like fundamental nerfs. Like, this one was a fundamental nerf with the knockback increased distance has been decreased, but a lot of it was like stats. Like, her damage was nerfed, HP was nerfed. When she hits you while you're guarding, your stamina depletes less fast. But yeah, I definitely still think she's A tier on this list. Next, with everybody's favorite character, Doggy. Did not get a buff or a nerf. I know Doggy mains are happy about that because the nerfs she got were pretty substantial. But it didn't affect her at all. Her pick rate is still up. I've seen a Doggy every single game, every single end game. There's an annoying ass Doggy. She's just so good, bro. She's someone you're gonna want to focus on if you're playing trios and they have a Doggy. You want to try to focus that Doggy down and get her out the way, and then pick off the rest of her team. She's just someone that can solo carry. Yeah, she has mobility. She has combos. She has range. Her passive is one of the best passives in the game. Just, she's so good. She's still S tier, of course. And coming on next, we have Wilcon, who also got no buffs or nerfs, my main. Is there anything to really say about this guy? I mean, really. He's just incredible. He can go stealth for 10 seconds. He's invincible on his pole. He's a melee character, but has extreme range on his pole attack. He gets a fucking steroid buff that buffs his range even more. And his damage, like, the guy is insane, bro. the guy's insane. Okay, S tier, S plus, S. Come on now, S tier, bro. I mean, are you stupid? Anyway, bro. Next character, Sandy. Look, man. I slept on this character for so long. Oh my god, I don't know why I slept on this character so long. Sandy, I'm gonna say it out the gate. Sandy is S tier. Sandy's S tier. Her freeze, her slow, her first square ability, 10 seconds on that ice little missile she shoots out. It's so good, bro. Like, oh man, she's not the best combo character. You're not gonna like be juggling everybody all around the shit with this character. That's not her playstyle. But she just brings so much to the team, and individually on a 1v1 she's extremely strong. If you're chasing her, she can just slow you, get that reset off. She can slow you mid-fight, get her own combo off. She's just really fucking good. I have to put her at A tier. Before I had her like B tier because I didn't know much about her, but I knew that she was like solid. But definitely A tier on this list. Very, very good character. And coming in last but not least, the Pigman himself, which is also the same scenario with Sandy. I didn't know much about him. I didn't see a lot of Pigsies out there. Still don't see a lot of Pigsies out there. But when I fought a good one, I noticed how good this character actually is. You do not want to get caught in his X or his forfeit ability, depending on if you're playing on PC or not. You don't want to get caught in that, especially without your escape, especially without your teammates being able to get in. Like, he could just, I don't know, bro. Like, he's a very stationary character. He's a more come to me character, and then I'ma fuck you up. So obviously, if you're fighting this guy, you're gonna want to use a range character. You're gonna want to use your Daras, your Momos, your Auras, things like that, because he's really weak against those characters. He's still beatable up close, but he's very tanky. Very, very, very tanky. Arguably one of the best tanks in the game, if not the best tank. Very, very solid. I have to put Pigsy at B tier. Because I don't think he's like broken or anything like that, and I don't think he's competing with people in A and S tier. But I think he's on his way. Like another patch that gives him a buff or anything like that, he definitely can go up to A tier. So guys, that was my tier list for season 1 updated. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.